Beautiful scenes in Oklahoma City. It's the USL Championship here on ESPN+. Tap Stadium is the venue as the Energy gets set to host the RGV FC Toros in a big Group D match between two teams trying to get towards the top of the table standings at the moment. Sean St. Jacques, Jose Rodriguez here with you. The fans are ready for this one as both teams are getting through their warm-ups and getting set for a big clash with a lot on the line early on in this season. At the moment, OKC are at the top. RGV are trying to catch them in the Group D standings. Here's tonight's player to watch, presented by SSM Health St. Anthony's of Oklahoma City. And Jose, CJ Cochran is our man to watch between the sticks.
Absolutely, Sean, 28 years old. Pretty much a goalkeeper that we know within the league. You know, it's quality for a team from OKC with plenty of experience. It's very important to have a goalkeeper that you can rely on, and that's exactly what CJ Cochran is.
Oklahoma City coming off a 3-1 win over Austin. Let's take a look at the RGV side of things. Jose, they picked up a huge point against San Antonio their last time out, but it's been a wild couple of weeks for the Toros. A ton of travel, over 3,400 miles, almost 3,400 miles, I should say, covered. That match between San Antonio gets postponed, it gets rescheduled, they get the crazy draw, and now they're back at it tonight against OKC.
Yeah, it is a really tough stretch for RGV, a young team. You know, Gerson Echeverry needs to work a lot in the mentality of this team, especially going on the road in 4 of the next 5 games. You have to get some points out of it. So the goal is to at least gain a point in every game. It's not going to be possible. Fight for every ball like it's the last one. That should be the mentality for this young team.
OKC's trying to put some distance between themselves and the rest of the group. RGV's trying to catch them. A big game coming up next in the USL Championship.
Outlining your own destiny is something we all take pride in. And knowing we're doing what we love is what makes this life adventure so exciting. Isn't it nice to have a banking partner that's along for the ride? FFB makes life easier with a simple click and snap, so things like mobile banking and deposits can be done anywhere, anytime. Plus free bill pay, person-to-person transfers, and Apple Pay. With free ATMs worldwide, why wouldn't you want a bank that gives you this much freedom? FFB. We go where you go.
You're about to witness a momentous occasion. Introducing the power of a better cloud. Brought to you by Cox Business Cloud Solutions with rapid scale technology. And the migration is complete. IT professionals are thrilled because when seemingly nothing is happening, everything is happening. Introducing Cox Business Cloud Solutions with rapid scale technology, the power of a better cloud.
As a private contractor, I didn't realize contacting OKC 811 before digging was my responsibility. I know there are utility lines buried everywhere, and I understand that damaging these lines could be costly or have potentially devastating consequences. From small digging, even with a shovel, to bigger jobs, the contractor must contact OKC 811 and wait the required time for those lines to be marked before starting the work. For every job, big or small, start your project with one call and simply dial 811.
I'd always wanted to get braces, always considered it, thought about it. You know, how long is this gonna take? Am I too old to do this? What am I gonna look like with braces on? With payment options and everything else, nothing's hindering me now, I just need to go ahead and do it. The staff, for one, is awesome. The doctor's great. I know I had friends growing up saying, oh, it hurts. I didn't have that experience. I can't wait to see my teeth without being masked by wires, right? Hindsight, I would have done it again 100 times over.
Back here at Taft Stadium, Sean St. Jacques and Jose Rodriguez here with you, getting you set. OKC and RGV just took a knee. United against racism remains the message as we take a look at the lineups. Let's start with, of course, tonight's lineups are provided by First Fidelity Bank, proud founding partner, of Energy FC. Let's start with OKC. JP's got his lineup out, and of course, Jaime Chavez is certainly the man to watch up top at the number 9 shirt.
Yes, plenty of experience, Sean. We already mentioned Cochran on goal, but look at Corley Cato, a lot of international experience with Trinidad and Tobago, and as well in the back line with Ellis Hayden, young player but with a lot of pace, very good moving forward, and we cannot leave outside of this lineup without giving a mention to Ativa Harris. what a player Ativa Harris has been throughout his career, 35 years old.
The starting 11 for RGV looks like this. Looks like it's a pretty full squad despite the trials and tribulations the Toros have dealt with over the last couple of weeks.
Yes, a classic 4-4-2 for Gerson Echeverry. Blanchette, a very good goalkeeper. We saw him against San Antonio, a pretty good start to the season for him. And up top, Lucatero and McLaughlin, two guys that are going to be very busy, not only moving forward with the ball, but also helping out on defense. We expect Gerson Echeverry and the RGV Toros to move forward with the ball.
Thank you.
Moment of silence there. The message stays the same. It stays as strong. Black lives matter, and the USL remains united against racism. Oklahoma City kicks us off to start this one. They are in their home green and whites, and RGV attacks in their orange kits with the white shorts. OKC, 4 points at the top of Group D. They're coming off a 3-1 victory over the Austin Bold. We mentioned you the crazy couple of weeks it's been for Gerson Echeverry's RGV Toros. A 1-1 draw, though, at home against San Antonio. A massive, massive point to get them on the board in this group. And Jose, now the goal is to get a little greedy if they can, and with a little bit more in their squad today, maybe try to get level on points with OKC if they get the right result today.
Well, yeah, you know, first I think they have to be, you know, a little bit more consistent. They had a good showing in the second half against San Antonio, but the first half wasn't good enough, and that's why they ran into trouble. Now, they showed already in the second half of that game that they can be a lot better, and I think as we move on during the season, now we have to remember that both of these teams, they have been off for maybe 3 to 4 months, and that's a lot of time. So you have to give them some time to get back into the rhythm of play, and I think that's going to happen for RGV pretty soon.
Here's tonight's injury report presented by SSM Health St. Anthony's of Oklahoma City. Omar Gordon and Joe Amico out tonight for Oklahoma City. Andrew Samuels and Ben Willis miss out for the Toros. Could have been a lot worse for RGV in that category. But again, the squad for the time being is in pretty good shape. And again, a couple of changes. Taberson not in the starting 11 tonight. Jose, he had the magical winner, the Brazilian did, or should I say the magical equalizer in the last game. But we were kind of talking before the game. That's kind of a good sign for RGV. You can kind of rest a couple of guys, use them if you need. Luke Perpa also on the bench as well. And if RGV need them late, maybe for a goal, they have them on there maybe a little bit fresher than normal.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a quick turnaround for RGV, so you know it's impossible to run the same 11 game after game, especially when you're playing 4 of the next 5 on the road and then 3 within the same week.
And the 3-1 win for OKC really was kind of sealed late on in the match back on July 17th. Jose Hernandez, Jonathan Brown, and Jaime Chavez all on the score sheet for OKC Energy. Chance here for the Toros. It's swept aside. It's out for a corner kick on that far side. Corner kick brought to you by First Fidelity Bank, and the Toros have a chance to maybe get an opportunity from a set piece, which is a place where they can be dangerous at times.
Yeah, it's interesting. The first opportunity for Beckford on the right side, look for him to move forward a lot, to be aggressive. This time it's a corner kick, and it's something that RGV, they have to take advantage of these opportunities. They are not going to have the ball very much during this game.
In swing, ball whipped in. Header was kind of headed down a little bit in the end. Might have been touched off an OKC defender. Ball back in, a chance to sidewind that. It's cleared only as far initially as Beckford. Both teams still fighting for it, but OKC comes out with it in the end. Only for a moment, though. Beckford, after it was deflected, tries to drive in. He wins a throw-in deep into the corner on that far side. Let's dive into the keys of the game presented by Kality Kia. And Jose, definitely that possession battle huge for Oklahoma City. And you argue it's the same for the Toros, but also those defensive mistakes are pretty key as well for Coach Echeverry's side.
Yeah, for OKC, they have to dominate the tempo of the game, and that starts with possession. And for RGV, they are a young team, so, you know, they have to limit the mistakes defensively. They already have to concentrate on holding on to the ball as much as they can. And whenever they get the ball, especially on this side of the field, they have to understand that they cannot lose the ball and facilitate everything offensively for OKC.
Coach Echeverry was saying to us yesterday, Jose, just the possession that they didn't have really back in the game in March against Los Dos, and then like a couple of games before here in this restart. That's been the biggest thing that he has not seen from an RGV team that we've seen over the last few years, Jose, that's so good at keeping the ball, grinding out results, defending when they need to, and really being stout with that back end of their team. We didn't see that a lot, especially in that first game back against El Paso, but it kind of came back in that second half against San Antonio.
Yeah, I think, we have, throughout the years, Gerson Echeverry as a good coach is a coach that, usually the players that he puts on the field, they understand the system. And I think from the roster coming into this year, from what we saw in 2019, there are plenty of changes, but the most important thing for RGV is that the system remains the same, and that's thanks to Gerson Echeverry.
Chance on this near side here for OKC, flying challenge in there, knocks it away. And Beckford comes away with it for the Toros, tried to lay it out up top, a little bit out of the reach of, in the end, McLaughlin. It's back with OKC. Was Cato initially. Side, Ellis Hayden is going to be a big factor tonight for OKC. Came over from the now disbanded Fresno FC. Played forward towards the penalty area, but he gobbled up, and RGV can reset. Paul Blanchette between the sticks for the Toros tonight. And for JP, for John Pascarella, first season as the man in charge for Oklahoma City. We talked to him yesterday as well. He just kind of alluded to, listen, there have been challenges. We have to go through a number of different things that we didn't expect to go through, but everyone else has had to go through that as well. He said it's been more about just getting to know his players, more about the relationships with his staff, and just getting that down, which is something that he said normally would be done by this point, obviously, in this season, but with everything that's going on now, even Gerson Echeverry mentioned this as well, everything's kind of been pushed back because of the obstacles with the pandemic, and obviously you see JP there talking things over with his coaching staff, and everyone's got to deal with that, though, and then these are the circumstances we're playing under, and I think both coaches kind of alluded to, we're just happy to be playing. This is something that both of our squads love to do, and despite all the challenges, we just love being out here. Speaking of being out here, Cato's out here doing some work and blasts it over the bar after picking it up in the midfield off a turnover.
Well, we talked about the mistakes that RGV needs to stay away from, and this is exactly what we were talking about. You're coming out of the back, you have to be calm, you have to find a teammate that is not going to be in trouble, and here comes Ida and takes the ball and takes the shot from inside the box. That's exactly what you want to stay away if you are RGV. Do not give OKC more of the opportunities that they are already capable of generating themselves.
A couple of looks already at Kodai Ida so far on that far side. Lovely outlet ball onto that far side, picked up by RGV. Maybe a chance to service this in from Manley. Chance, was deflected towards the 6-yard box, and it's out for a corner as, boy, I'll tell you what, there was a chance there for a moment for Deshane Beckford, who made the run inside.
Well, it's back and forth in the first 8 minutes of the match, which is good to see. Maybe something that we were not expecting, but it's part of the mentality of RGV, going for it. They know they're in the middle of a tough stretch, and they need some points to get back into fighting for the first 2 spots.
Ball back in, the header is down and wide. Oh, what a chance that was. It was Robert Castellanos, the captain today for RGV. Free header, just put it past the post.
Yeah, beautifully executed from RGV, and the header from Castellanos. You think about the opportunities that RGV has been able to create in the first 9 minutes, and we have to look into set pieces, and I guess that's also a little bit of credit to Gerson Echeverry, maybe knowing that playing on the road, set pieces are very important. They don't have much time to train as well because they have to travel a lot. But, you know, having the foundation in set pieces is something that comes way back from preseason.
JP squad under pressure early on here. Another in-swinging corner upcoming. Really good ball in the header again, not quite on target. Now for another goal kick. Goodness, another good chance in there. Kyle Edwards leaping highest for RGV. And CJ Cochran will have to reorganize here as RGV has taken it to Oklahoma City early and bringing that energy that I think we expected from the home side.
Yep, absolutely. I agree 100% with you. Now we're going to have to see how OKC is going to react to this because we mentioned possession, and possession is going to be key for them. Now they have to understand that they have to win the battle in the middle of the field. I guess that's exactly where the experience out of this OKC side is going to have to help them out.
OKC appealing for a foul there. It's going to be out for an RGV throw on this near side as Jonathan Jimenez did really well backtracking there for the men in orange. Martinez trying to find Beckford, got a little fortunate off a deflection. A lovely piece of footwork there. Beckford megs one. Into the penalty area he goes, and he scores! It's a wonderfully taken goal by Deshane Beckford. And the Jamaican puts RGV in front inside 11 minutes.
Pure class from Beckford. So we take another look. Winning 1v1 battle. Beautiful move. Gets inside the box, takes his time, takes the shot. Nothing left to do for CJ Cochran. A beautiful goal for Beckford. The first one in 2020 for the Jamaican international. And what a way to start for RGV.
A great message at the end of solidarity for the Black Lives Matter movement. What a piece of footwork and skill by Deshane Beckford to elude not one but two defenders, took his time and used it to perfection to give RGV a bit of an unlikely lead here, despite obviously not in the play. They've dominated the game, but I think if you told anybody before the start of this game that within 10 minutes RGV would be in front, they'd give you a weird look.
Yeah, this is exactly what you have to play the games. We have seen throughout the last 2 weeks with what has been going on with Louisville. Louisville is a team that we expect to be winning games early on in USL Championship. And, you know, first it's Pittsburgh, then it's St. Louis. Full of surprises restart in USL Championship.
Ellis Hayden looking for the answer for OKC, and in the end, Blanchette just dived on top of that first, although he's down and looks to be a little hurt here as he dove to save that. It was a good response there by OKC. Hopefully Blanchette is okay, and they're going to actually have the RGV staff take a look at him here. Energy FC would like to thank SSM Health St. Anthony for being the official healthcare partner, and Team Docs for the Energy FC. SSM Health St. Anthony's support on the sidelines and in the community is unmatched. For 121 years, SSM Health St. Anthony has been ready to help and heal patients across OKC. It's the RGV staff that's working here to make sure that Paul Blanchette is okay. And it's going to be a bit of an impromptu water break as well in the meantime. This was a nice little passage of play by OKC that led to it. And it might have been a little bit of a nick or two in the back. Castellanos definitely unintentional, trying to shield Jaime Chavez away. Both of them might have gotten a little bit of a nick on Blanchette. And that's not the best place to get a nick either. It looks like he's going to try and walk things off.
Yeah, it looks like it was Chavez in the end trying to reach out with his left leg. But, you know, it's probably the intensity, right, of, you know, understanding that this is not part of a plan, that you were supposed to dominate the game early on. Now it's RGV taking the lead.
Well, then it goes back to the second part of our keys to the game. Can they keep something? Can they defend what they have and avoid some of those defensive mistakes we've seen at times over the last couple of years? Again, it's a relatively new team for for RGV in certain aspects of it. A couple of their leading goal scorers from last season, like Carlos Small and Michael Salazar, have moved on. Jesus Enriquez, of course, now with San Antonio as well. Guys that have been mainstays, especially last season, and big parts of last season's team. But when guys like Deshane Beckford do things like that, you start to forget about those guys and think, hey, look at what we got here. Well, that's going to be a foul with a late challenge there going OKC's way. It looks like Garrett McLaughlin was a little late on a challenge there for the Toros.
Yeah, he was really late looking for the ball. I'm surprised that's not a yellow.
And OKC will have to restart things and trying to recover from a bit of a punch early on here from the Toros. Kept in on this near side by Ellis Hayden. Swing and a miss there by the defensive player for RGV. Actually going to go OKC's way. Jimenez, I think, was appealing that he didn't touch the ball. But it's going to be an OKC Energy throw-in on this near side. Ellis Hayden. Played all the way back, and OKC will restart things. It's a lovely ball towards the penalty area, but it's cleared out. Oh, McLaughlin made a nice run, almost got there. But the back line for OKC made sure he didn't get a touch to that. Could have been in the counterattack immediately for the Toros.
Gerson Echeverri is still showing a little bit of the touch still in him, right?
Oh, there you go. No question about that. I wouldn't want to challenge him to a game of keepy-ups.
Former Metro Stars and
question about that.
DC United. Talk about, understanding the game for a coach like Gerson Echeverri. It's been a while for him within the North American soccer landscape. And it's great to see how he has been able to shape up this team in the past few years.
On and behind is cleared. Manley tried to head that back towards the penalty area. Bit of a skirmish at midfield. Toros were complaining about a push in the back not given, and Castellanos will boot that out for a throw-in. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. 11th minute goal by Deshane Beckford, his first of the season. As the Toros in front so far in the early stages here at Taft Stadium in Oklahoma City. One of the cool things leading up to this game was kind of diving, for us at least, Jose, into the relationship between John Pasquarella and Gerson Echeverri. They've known each other forever. These guys have gone back and forth. So they have mutual respect between these two. As McLaughlin's in here, great save by CJ Cochran. Ball not cleared though, Beckford. First time shot deflected and wide. And out for a corner. Boy, Deshane Beckford is pulling the strings right now, and Cochran had to be on his toes on 2 occasions there, and now a corner kick for the Toros.
Yeah, it's a quality start for Beckford and for RGV as a whole. But we have to go a little bit back to this play because, this is the end, and there's the shot, and there's a deflection that sends the ball to the corner kick. But before that, the movement from McLaughlin to get inside the box, it was just, and stay away of the offside, it was just something special to watch. So very interesting what we're watching so far from RGV.
Another good service into the penalty area. Not a bad header either by Castellanos. Relatively free, Jose, in the penalty area. Just couldn't put it on target yet again.
Yeah, I think this is probably the 3rd time we have seen an RGV, whether it's a defender or a player attacking. It's interesting that they have been able to connect on headers for the 3rd time in a row out of a corner kick. That is an adjustment that OKC needs to make because, RGV can very easily start, going through the wings and sending crosses inside the box, and they can gain some confidence because they see they can do damage out of that style of play.
For those that watched RGV play San Antonio, I should say, last time out, this is a totally different looking RGV first half. This is more like the second half of that game where RGV really took it to San Antonio, and they've got their reward, Jose. It's just going to be about keeping it up. And so far, the chances have all come the way of the Toros. So that's going to be a free kick going OKC's way, as Kembo Kibato is going to be booked for that challenge.
Wow, that's an early yellow. It's only the 20th minute.
For a player in his position where he plays on the field, an early booking is never a good thing, although to be fair, it might be deserved because he gets none of the ball, it looks like, by that first look on that challenge.
Yeah, for Kibato, 22 years old, so, you know, some things come with experience.
From the initial free kick, oh, the ball was just too far in front. I think of Chavez making the run. He would have been in one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And lovely skill to keep it with Manley here for RGV. Now the Toros keep on coming here. And they will, in the end, hold up play. I think Beckford would have been the target on that opposite end on the near side, but RGV instead keep possession, as sure Coach Echeverry would say, made a smart decision there. That's another thing that he stressed to us in the lead-up, was just making smart decisions on the ball, being comfortable on the ball. Certainly more of his players have been doing that so far, but here come OKC. Done well. Resetting things for the Energy.
Backside.
Not much to aim at as of yet in the penalty area for a cross. Again, Dunwell kind of played that out. Could have been a little give and go opportunity there, but not enough numbers, I guess, for OKC to try and push that situation, but they can maintain possession and rebuild here.
Yeah, this is much better from OKC. Just, you know, you have to be patient. You have to understand that you need to stay away of these mistakes as well. Oh, come on.
Well, here comes Beckford again off the turnover. He's got space to work with, a step over. Onto his left foot, he tries again. This time hits the side netting, and it's a goal kick.
Listen, they dodged the bullet right there, because Beckford, the way he's playing right now, you cannot give him the ball in the middle of the field like that.
Another fantastic piece of play from Shane Beckford. Beckford was a little slow to get up. Oh, there's the shot of him there. Hopefully he's all right. Trying to walk it off here. That would be tough for the Toros to take after his bright start to the match. We'll keep an eye on that as the game continues. Lovely ball here for Ellis Hayden to run onto. Chance to put this into the penalty area. Not the best of balls in. Castellanos away for RGV. OKC will reset here. Cato looking for Ellis Hayden. And a lovely job shielding that away by Coronado. And it's a goal kick. I think play is going to be stopped here. Beckford is still down for the Toros. We get another look at his run here. Takes the shot, and
as he falls, it looks like, you know, he twigs his knee.
Oh boy, what a bright spot he's been in the opening 20 minutes. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but we'll have to see how this plays out. Obviously, Jerson Echeverry's got to be holding his breath here. Beckford scored the opening goal in the 11th minute and almost set up 2 other goals already for RGV.
Yeah, for Beckford, you know, it was the perfect start to the match. And this is something very unfortunate for a player that it's only 21 years old, on loan from Montego Bay United in Jamaica, you know, trying to get back into the rhythm of things. after such a long break, and having an injury, it's not something that you want to see. So hopefully, he's okay.
He was brought back for another year into RGV's squad just because of the signs he had shown over the last season, and just based on that alone, you've seen the first 20 minutes from Shane Beckford. You see what he can bring to the table. Looked like behind Coach Echeverry there, he was still trying to kind of stretch things out, and we'll have to see. Looks like Beckford might try to give this a go. We'll have to see how it plays out. He's waiting for the word to get back onto the pitch.
Yeah, probably the next 5 to 10 minutes is gonna tell you the story about what Beckford is going through right now.
And Beckford's back on for RGV. So like you said, Jose, we'll see how he does. And we'll keep an eye on that as it goes along. He's got the only goal so far for RGV, and almost set up a couple of others for the Toros, using that pace, his great vision, and for that first goal, just amazing patience and timing. Cato, good centering pass. Turn ball back towards Cato, cleared out for an OKC throw-in. They're trying to pick up some steam here. Zachary Ellis Hayden. Cato. Ooh, bad first touch, and gives it away. But only as far as Rafael Garcia. And OKC will restart. Access to technology should be attainable regardless of income level. Through Connect to Complete, Cox opens a world of opportunity for families by providing low-cost home internet. Learn more about Connect to Complete at cox.com/connect to compete.
Why isn't anybody in the middle? Why are you guys?
Chance here for OKC. Goes by the wayside. No one was able to get to that far post. Not quite out of the woods yet, though, RGV. Good ball back into the penalty area over everyone's head. Chance, though, for Ellis Hayden to regather here. Good ball in, back post, and it's out for a corner. Took a deflection, and a great run back there by Ida. And a set-piece opportunity for OKC Energy, and it's a First Fidelity Bank corner.
Yeah, it's a good effort from Ellis Hayden, twice in a row on the right side, putting the ball inside the box. Now, the problem is that OKC is not bringing enough players inside the box. It's just Jaime Chavez fighting around 2 or 3 defenders. So get numbers in there and try to take advantage of the effort from Ellis Hayden on the right side.
Garcia will take. Good ball in, dangerous ball in, just over the top. I think it was Cato who got up there highest. It's back out for another First Fidelity Bank corner on the opposite side. Now this is more like it from OKC.
Here's the opportunity out of the corner kick. It's Paul Blanchette in the end. Clears the ball away for another corner kick. It was Jaime Chavez trying to bring the cross in.
Garcia near post, not quite cleared. Cato in there again with it for OKC, but he was cleared away. And here come the Toros running after it. It's cleared, almost out of play, now out of play, and it'll stay with OKC Energy. Ooh, for a moment there, you thought the Toros were going to run out of the traps there and go for a second.
Yeah, that shows you how dangerous they can be as well in the counterattack. They showed already how good they can be when they have possession and when they move up with numbers. Now, in a long ball, in a counterattack, you look for Edwards, you look for Beckford, and they can really hurt you. So, you know, it's looking really good so far in the first half an hour for RGV.
Tried to get the slip through there. Kodai Ida thought he was fouled, not given. force OKC Energy to retreat and reset. Cochran will do the honors for the Energy. It's been interesting the last 3 years, the matchups between OKC and RGV. 2017, RGV won both meetings, combined score of 4-0. OKC returned the favor and swept the Toros in 2018, winning 7-3 on aggregate, if you will. And then RGV returned the favor, winning both matchups last season. So it's been a bit of back and forth when it comes to meetings between these two. And it seems like it's trending in the RGV direction, although there's a long way to go in this game. But interesting, the last 3 years, it's been all or nothing for these two in head-to-head matchups.
Yeah, and it's good to mention that, you know, we still have 60 more minutes to play, because that is exactly the challenge for RGV. You have 30 good minutes, 45 good minutes, but can you hold on for a consistent performance throughout 90 minutes? That's exactly what we want to see.
It was one of the issues and one of the reasons RGV came up short in the playoff race last season, just couldn't hold on to leads. Specifically at home, a couple of games that they let get away from them when they had a lead. Here comes OKC, big chance, huge save by Blanchette. And it's out for a corner, golden opportunity for Basulovic.
What a move, beautiful. You know, the control, the timing was there. The read out of that header is just outstanding. Takes his time and then takes the shot, but we have to give credit as well to Blanchette.
The first Fidelity Bank corner is taken quickly there, but it's quickly cleared by the Toros. Ida might shape up for the shot, and it's over the bar. Boy, the confidence he's shown in the first half has been one of the bright spots for OKC, and he felt like he had a shot there too, and maybe feels he should have done a little bit better. So it looks like we're heading into their first official hydro break in this first half. 31 minutes gone. RGV leads by 1-0, and the goal was from Deshane Beckford. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for OKC while we have a moment, presented by Loves. And August starts out with New Mexico United in their second season of existence. Then they get San Antonio again before they meet RGV on the 15th. And in this group stage format, every game matters obviously for the Energy, but obviously these next couple of games are huge. All of them at home, 3 straight.
Yeah, very important. 3 of the next 5 played at home. You know, you have to solidify that home field advantage, and you know, it's something that as well RGV is going to have to do at some point. But you know, like we mentioned before, they have a tough stretch, and they start again on the road on Saturday against San Antonio.
Coach Jurchen Echeverry told us earlier this week that these next couple of games, again, despite everything they've been through, it's just about fighting for everything you can get at this point. Obviously, you know, when we talked to JP, John Pascarella for OKC, and you know, he really put a lot of pressure on his team for these home games, how important they are to rack up a lot of points. But for RGV, the mentality, just because of what they've been through, has just been, hey, you know, we're down right now. This is not the situation we wanted to be in, but we got to keep fighting. You know, this is not the time to let everything fall on top of us. We've got points we need to put on the board, or we're not going to be in this for much longer. And I think you're starting to see that performance, especially that second half against San Antonio, and the first half an hour here has certainly been, you know, the look of a team in desperation and needing points.
Yeah, and I think that the most important thing for Echeverry is that you know, the players believe in the system. They completely understand that if we watch back to what they did in the second half against San Antonio, we have different players on the field. We had Tyberson as the player of the game, and now he's not playing, but the team is still putting out a good performance so far. But then again, like we mentioned, it's not only about the first 45 minutes, it's also about how you manage the game. And the most important part, when you get to the 75th minute and the legs are not there, what are you going to do? Where is the experience going to come from?
Don't miss a minute of action in 2020. Sign up today and get alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for OKC Energy and then click on the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on OKC Energy's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. Work to do for the Energy. 34 minutes gone in this opening half. Garcia tried to flick that forward. Chavez put it into the path of Cato. Tried to push and chase it forward. And it'll roll out harmlessly for an RGV throw. And now Cato is down on this near touchline.
Yeah, that's not looking good either. But then again, Beckford is playing. And we thought the worst with Beckford just a few minutes ago.
And one of the more explosive players on this OKC roster. And Cordell Cato has really been one of the bright spots in, at times, what's been a little bit of a lackluster first half from OKC Energy. We've seen him on the ball quite a bit, trying to make things happen, especially on this near side. And again, just hope that he's okay. Again, that's one of the things that's going to come up with the long break during the pandemic and things of that nature. You know, guys at some point are still trying to get back into game shape, if you will, as well. Again, Beckford, despite the electrifying first 20 minutes, goes down briefly, and now hopefully Cato will be okay as well.
Yeah, it looks like Hernandez is getting ready to come on. What a shame.
Tough to see that for OKC. And we hope that Cato be all right in the long term. Tough on him. And such a good start to the game for Cordell Cato.
Yeah, it's a very important player for OKC, especially moving forward. Just it's a player with plenty of experience, but also he combines pretty well with Ellis Hayden. We saw that in the game against Austin. And now, you know, adjustments are going to come for sure. But you're at home, and you have to go for a goal to tie the game, and then maybe time. What a shot. Whoa.
Oh, what a chance that was out of nothing. It was Kyle Edwards who let fly from about 30 yards out, but CJ Cochran just about had it covered in the end. I think that took everyone by surprise.
No doubt. The confidence is right there for Edwards.
I think Cochran knew it was going wide, but it was a kind of a why not situation. Not much up there with Edwards. And he said, you know what, I'm going to take a stab at it and almost put it on target.
Yeah, it's a good effort nonetheless. You know, he had a little bit of room to maybe go on the 1v1 and try to win the battle, but you know, it's a good effort.
For the moment, and Cato is out, but he's not been substituted yet. So at the moment, OKC are down a man. Vasilovic is fouled, trying to retreat. There's Cato.
Yeah, he's not coming back. But you know, it's also, you don't want to bring a player in without a little bit of a warm-up. So maybe that's why Hernandez took his time.
It looks to be Jose Hernandez, who is getting set to come on. And there's the confirmation of the change.
Substitution in the 38th minute, leaving the match, number 17.
Hernandez scored the third goal in the 3-1 win of OKC against Austin Bold this past weekend. So, you know, a player good with the ball, especially inside the box. We saw in that game against Austin, Sean, a very good connection with Jaime Chavez.
It was a Cox Connect to Compete substitution, making changes in home internet with low-cost options. Visit cox.com/connect to compete. Plays really on the depth as well for OKC, and you know, Coach Pasquarello was saying earlier this week that he's used 20 of his 22 guys already in the last 3 games. And one of those 2 that he didn't use is out with a long-term injury. So he's used almost everybody so far. Again, it's tough to lose one of your starting 11 in the first half, especially after the strong half that Cato had. But you bring on a guy that scored a goal for you already this season and could still be a difference maker in Jose Hernandez. That goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, absolutely. It talks about the depth of the of OKC, but also, you know, it talks about the moment that we're in the season. This is probably the end of preseason normally after such a long break. So, you know, coaches think it twice before putting players out there for a long time. So it's going to be normal, I guess, for this week and maybe the following week. But after that, after 5 to 6 weeks of regular play, I think we're going to start to see the teams performing a lot better and not, taking advantage as much of switching the lineups from game to game.
Done well forward for OKC after Isidro Martinez was stopped in his tracks. Done well. Out wide for Kyle Highland, who we've seen a bit defensively so far in this first half for OKC. Hernandez, a little frustrated after he passed that away, trying to get his team to stretch the field a little bit, but RGV for a moment, they had the Sharks around there trying to find the ball and get back on the counterattack. Couldn't quite get there, and Hernandez couldn't quite get there either on this near touchline, and it's out for an RGV throw-in.
Yeah, right now, OKC is lacking the ball movement. They concentrate on one side of the field. Maybe they have to try to move the ball a little bit from side to side to find some room. Right now, it's very predictable. And RGV is reading the game pretty well.
McLaughlin almost lost the ball there. Back with RGV. Ball in behind here. Oh, the touch just lets down Kyle Edwards. That was another really good chance. Thank you to First Fidelity Bank for being a founding partner and continued sponsor of Energy FC. First Fidelity Bank, where we go, you go. Last few minutes of this opening half. And again, that early beauty from Deshane Beckford separates the sides. Ellis Hayden forced to retreat by Beckford. Here's Highland. Ida centering pass. Now it's floated onto this near side for Hernandez. Does well to keep it alive. Ellis Hayden runs onto it and is fouled by Jimenez.
Much better from OKC. This is exactly what you need. It all starts on the left side. You move the ball to the right side, win the 1v1 battle. Ellis Hayden with the ball, and you get the free kick. You know, it's all about moving the ball. Right now, RGV is very comfortable defending, and you have to change something. The element of surprise is not there for OKC offensively.
This feels like a big part of the game for RGV, trying to hold on to a lead going into the half. Rafael Garcia stands over this for OKC. Puts in a good ball, and it's headed over the top. A couple of set-piece opportunities have been there for OKC. This Jaime Chavez, who hasn't had a ton to do up front so far for OKC, got his head to it, but couldn't put it on target.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's not necessarily on Jaime Chavez, but, you know, it's his teammates. They need to find him on the right spot. We all know he's a goal scorer. He's capable of scoring in this league every week. It doesn't matter who he's facing. He's a very good player, but you need to put him in a position to succeed. And right now, that's not happening.
Manley was fouled there. as he tried to pass that ball forward. Kyle Highland not thrilled with the decision. Michael Kapp is our center referee.
RGV right now, it's all about managing the end of a first half. You don't want to concede a goal. So if you're going to put this ball inside the box, make sure you're not putting yourself in that position for a counterattack.
In by Martinez, quickly cleared by OKC. Coronado lofts it towards the corner, and Manley can't get there. It'll go out for a goal kick. We're told that there's going to be 7 minutes of added time the end of this first half. For, again, not 1 stoppage, but 2 stoppages actually for injury. And of course, the hydration break counts towards that as well. Chance here for OKC. Chavez right at Blanchette. Boy, that's what it can do. That's what it can take. Just 1 ball over the top, and Jaime Chavez nearly equalized for OKC.
Chavez shows the quality in the way he controls the ball and takes the shot because he knows he has 3 defenders around him. So the timing was right for the shot, but maybe not strong enough for the Mexican and former Fresno FC player.
Tonight's stoppage time is brought to you by SSM Health, St. Anthony's. It is confirmed that it is 7 minutes added on for stoppages at the end of this first half. It's been a good first half, you have to say, between these two.
Yeah,
RGV kind of initiated that back and forth play early on.
And I think we have already a candidate to goal of the week with Beckford.
No question about that. And Isidro Martinez almost entered his name into the hat as well. Almost had a chance later on set up by Beckford that was deflected out for a corner, as Edwards tried to chase that out of play. It'll be a deep throw in their own area for OKC. It's been a solid first half for that man as well, Zachary Ellis Hayden. He's headed back forward by initially Cabado. Edwards was claiming a handball there, nothing given. Hernandez plays it forward. And more pressure from RGV, and that's just a poor challenge there. Not playing the ball. OKC, though, plays it quickly. Ball played forward by Highland. Chance here for Ida. Looking to cross into the penalty area. Chavez was the target, cleared out by Castellanos, and it's another corner for OKC. Here into added time at the end of this first half. Another First Fidelity Bank corner kick upcoming.
Yeah, good opportunity on the left side this time for Ida. Just being able to get the cross in. Past couple of chances, he thought about taking the shot. They went over the bar this time. He gets a corner kick.
A lot of good service so far tonight by Rafael Garcia. It's another really good ball in. Nobody got a touch to it for either side, I think. It's going to be an OKC throw-in. There's a play at the other end of the pitch. Edwards was appealing for a handball. Ooh, I'll tell you what. That one could have gone either way. Atiba Harris would have been the guilty party there. Challenge there at the edge of the penalty area. Michael Kapp says nothing doing there. And it's a goal kick. I guess it comes down to,
what do you
position.
Think? PK or no PK?
I think for, the handball rule, again, it's different from league to league, but I think for me, one of the overriding factors is unnatural position, right? Where is the hand near the body? Is it extended? Is it benefiting the play? I think you can make a little bit of an argument that it's benefiting the defense there. I don't know.
I'm 50-50, but I would say, if I had to make the decision, I would say no penalty.
Good thing we're not referees, Jose. I can say that right now. I think Michael Kapp, if he ever hears this, would be going, oh boy, these guys. Good pressure again there from RGV. Fans, you can follow OKC Energy and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+, home of the USL, MLS, UFC, and much more. Join the nearly 8 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Hernandez is in. Saved by Blanchett.
Wow, what a missed opportunity for OKC.
Oh.
Probably their best chance of the first half. It's Hernandez who gets the ball.
Well, this is why you need an ESPN Plus account for moves like this.
Oh, my boy.
But everything but the finish from Hernandez there.
Yeah, no doubt. And it was Chavez with the flick. You know, it was a slight touch, but it was enough to put Hernandez in a position to score. But unfortunately for OKC, it's a missed opportunity towards the end of the first half. And what a moment this could be moving forward. Because you can only imagine how the game would change with a goal in the final minutes of the first half.
This seems like OKC trying to get the stranglehold back on this game. And last 5-10 minutes or so, we're starting to see the OKC energy we saw pull away against Austin last time out.
Yeah, and exactly what we thought the game would look like.
And Garcia, good opportunity to fling this one into the penalty area. Still got about 2 minutes of the added time remaining at the end of this first half. It's another really good ball in, headed away by Coronado. And maybe a chance for RGV to counter if they want to here. I think instead they'll settle with Manley. Manley slipped as he gave that back to Hernandez. Garcia. Chavez. He's waiting for it. Basulovic looks for him. Chest it down for Hernandez. Still a chance. Coronado heads it only as far as Ida. He controls it. And OKC can restart. Highland flings one in. Chavez centering header. Cleared away, but it's only out for a throw-in on the near touchline. Still just over a minute left. Can OKC find a first half equalizer? Dunwell gives it away. Crucial pass there, misplaced. McLaughlin makes the run on the far side. And it's good backtracking there to cover things up there. I think it was Taravel who got there first. Here's Hernandez. Vasulovic tried to find Ellis Hayden. He gets by. Ellis Hayden's ball in. And it's cleared out for another corner. Boy, Zachary Ellis Hayden showing you what he can do on this near side. Got the ball in a good space. Maybe was fortunate. Coronado slips there, but nearly found Chavez. And it's another First Fidelity Bank corner kick. Might be the last action of the first half.
Yeah, it's back and forth in the last 5 minutes of the first half. Maybe the last opportunity for OKC to equalize.
In by Garcia. And the header is off the bar and over the top. Blanchett, what a phenomenal save. Another corner upcoming after Blanchett just about saved his side.
Yeah, it was just a wonderful play. The cross from Garcia is perfect. Then the header from Chavez.
That is an outrageous save by Blanchett.
Just beautiful. Beautiful football.
OKC thought they'd equalized. Another First Fidelity Bank corner. This is likely the last act of the first half. In by Garcia. Headed away by Castellanos. RGV clears. And that is the end of a topsy-turvy first half at Taft Stadium.
Let me tell you, this is probably the best half of soccer we have seen since the restart of the USL Championship. Quality from both sides. First 25 minutes to half an hour for RGV. They were quality with back for Edwards. And then the last 15 minutes of the first half, it was all OKC. The limit for both of these teams, I think we haven't seen it yet. It's going to be a really good second half. You have to stay with us.
At the half, Deshane Beckford's strike separates the sides. He opened the scoring in the 11th minute. OKC have been in control since. It should be a fun second half. We head to the halftime break. OKC 0, RGV 1. More to come here on ESPN+.
Goals are something we outline for ourselves, and oftentimes they can be pretty lofty. When things begin to line up the way we think they should, we appreciate those who helped us along the way, like the help you get with commercial banking from FFB. Our experts are ready to partner with you to help you manage cash flow, oversee accounts through online banking, and help you secure a business line of credit. Because we know you've got better things to do, like grow your business. FFB. We go where you go.
At OG&E, the energy we deliver is more than electrical. We energize your home and your budget by providing the power you need day and night at the lowest rates in the nation, all the while striving to offer you innovative ways to bring your costs down even further, from consistently investing in our infrastructure to weatherizing thousands of homes. Because at OG&E, we do more than energize a power grid. At OG&E, we energize life. Come see how at ogetogether.com.
As a private contractor, I didn't realize contacting OK811 before digging was my responsibility. I know there are utility lines buried everywhere, and I understand that damaging these lines could be costly or have potentially devastating consequences. From small digging, even with a shovel, to bigger jobs, the contractor must contact OK811 and wait the required time for those lines to be marked before starting the work. For every job, big or small, start your project with one call and simply dial 811.
Welcome back. Energy with a 2-0 advantage. The 6th minute of action. Now would be a great time to announce the new healthcare partner of the OKC Energy. It's SSM Health St. Anthony. SSM Health St. Anthony. SSM Health St. Anthony. St. Anthony.
RGV leads by a goal to nil at the half here in Oklahoma City. Tonight's halftime is brought to you by Grande Kia. We're excited to announce the Grande Kia halftime show. Grande Kia isn't just any dealership. They're the #1 Kia dealership in Oklahoma. If anyone can get you the deal you deserve, it's your friends for life at Grande. Let's take a look now at some of the best from Week 4 in the USL Championship.
Comes out and takes that one and quickly looks to punt. High up the field, Lapsley's beaten here, an opportunity for Hartford, and they go end-to-end for the opening goal!
Wow. What a goal for Hartford. I think it's a big mistake from Lapsley, letting that ball skip. We talked about the surface. There's not many bounces that you're not able to expect on this field. Rare assist from Mandanda.
El Badawi. Ball across for Cristo! North Carolina crossing level! 2 unanswered in the first half by the Rowdies. 2 unanswered by North Carolina FC in the second half. How about North Carolina FC?
Corner kick ball played inside the box, and that one's in! Wadabaye! And man alive, the Monarchs crumble here late.
Oh my word, sweet beard of Zeus Landon.
Iverson. Cut in field, he'll go for a goal again! What a strike for RGV! They equalize in stoppage time! Iverson equalizes! That is a golazo, absolutely brilliant strike. Echeverry, the coach, gets points that as well, but he did it first half. Iverson and he hit the post. This time he gets it in the top corner. That is a magnificent finish, absolutely brilliant.
The United Soccer League and its 47th championship in League One clubs stand united in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can create change. Together, we are united against racism.
Once a community's long-term player development pathway is established, USL clubs must clearly define their talent identification strategy in collaboration with their youth network. Establishing this strategy provides local clubs and coaches the opportunity to recommend top young prospects towards the USL Academy level and eventually their local USL senior team. As players are identified, the USL Academy League is designed to provide young players the opportunity to transition from youth soccer to playing at the senior level in 3 different ways. Players most ready to make the jump to the USL Championship, League 1 and League 2 can begin their integration into a senior team by taking a part-time senior status, allowing them to train and even play at the senior level while still getting additional training and games within the USL Academy League. Top young players projected to be ready for their first integration into senior team soccer within 1 to 2 years will be encouraged to register as the full-time academy status. Players with a longer-term projection towards the USL senior team will have the flexibility to continue primarily being a part of their youth team through the part-time youth status. This will also encourage further collaboration between the youth network and the USL senior team, as coaches from both levels can work together to determine the right time to move players through that established pathway. For more information, visit usl-academy.com.
Sean St. Jacques, Jose Rodriguez back here with you. Let's take a look at the news and notes here around the USL. And Jose, how about the home cooking for Indy 11? Going back to Independence Day of 2018. Did I read that right? 28 games?
It's a wonderful run for Indy 11, and you know that's something that, especially in this year, which we have a schedule that is very important for you to get points at home. This is something that Indy 11 needs to build on. And then the player of the week, Bruno Lapa from Birmingham Legion. It's you know, quality, pure quality within the league as well. League 1 begins this weekend, so are you ready for that one?
Oh,
I am ready.
Revs 2, Union Omaha, 5 p.m. Saturday. Yes, please, on the League 1 action. Excited for that one as well. Let's take a look at the power rankings, top 10 this week. And go to USLChampionship.com every Monday. So you can see at the top, Indy 11 and Phoenix Rising switching spots this week. And Birmingham Legion and St. Louis up big this week as well.
Well, yeah, you know, I've been very impressed overall with the level of play. I've liked a lot Pittsburgh. I think Indy is right in the first spot, and Phoenix Rising, you know, we are now used to seeing them in the first 1, 2, maybe the third spot in the power ranking. So that's not a surprise at all.
You want to be in the top 2 spots of the group standings at the end of things. Group D at the moment, OKC and San Antonio at the top. If the results hold, though, they'll be joined by RGV at the top of the table level on points at 4, but still a long time to go. Still 45 minutes to determine how the standings will look at the end of the night. Upcoming schedule, a couple of good ones coming up. One on Thursday, one on Friday, both on ESPN+. Tulsa host the Austin Bold, and El Paso will take on New Mexico United. Couple of really strong matchups there that could really determine a lot in their respective groups. At the half, at the moment, OKC trying to come back against RGV. The Toros lead by 1-0 at the break here in Oklahoma City.
Success is achieved through hard work, and many business owners work tirelessly for years to realize the dream of franchising their business. FFB partners with companies of all sizes every day and offers an extensive variety of treasury services. FFB will outline a plan just for you, help you streamline cash flow, and monitor your business transactions. Because we know you've got better things to do, like grow your business. FFB. We go where you go.
Being helpful is what Arvest Bank is all about. And part of being helpful is listening to our customers, which is why Arvest Go, our mobile app, was recently certified by J.D. Power for providing an outstanding mobile banking experience. You can easily pay friends, securely lock and unlock your cards, plus deposit checks, pay bills, and more. So download Arvest Go today. Arvest Bank, ready to help.
As a private contractor, I didn't realize contacting OK 811 before digging was my responsibility. I know there are utility lines buried everywhere, and I understand that damaging these lines could be costly or have potentially devastating consequences. From small digging, even with a shovel, to bigger jobs, the contractor must contact OKC 111 and wait the required time for those lines to be marked before starting the work. For every job, big or small, start your project with one call and simply dial 811.
I'd always wanted to get braces, always considered it, thought about it. How long is this gonna take? Am I too old to do this? What am I gonna look like with braces on? With payment options and everything else, nothing's hindering me now, I just need to go ahead and do it. The staff, for one, is awesome. The doctor's great. I know I had friends growing up saying, oh, it hurts. I didn't have that experience. I can't wait to see my teeth without being masked by wires, right? Hindsight, I would have done it again 100 times over.
Back here at Tap Stadium, Sean St. John, Jose Rodriguez back here with you. RGV in front against Oklahoma City by 1-0 at the break. Let's see how they got there in our first half highlights. It was a really fun start to this game, and it kind of carried out throughout most of the first half, Jose, and it really was Shane Beckford who lit up OKC.
Yeah, it was a great start for RGV. They had a couple of chances before the goal, but oh boy, what a goal this was by Deshaun Beckford, his first one of the season. He takes his time, after moving past two defenders. It's not easy. Sometimes you may try to rush the shot and maybe, facilitate things for the goalkeeper. This time, it's Beckford. Pure class from Beckford for the first goal of the match.
OKC, though, kind of got back into it pretty quickly. This is a big chance, though. Basulovic gets denied.
Yeah, another quality move from Basulovic. It's the timing what makes the play right at this point, because he takes his time, but the ball as well that comes to him from the right side is perfect, although this time it's Blanchette who holds on to the ground and, he's able to send the ball to the corner kick.
Zachary Ellis-Hayden had a bright first half as well, but so did Hernandez, who came in as a substitute, nearly equalized towards the end of the first half.
Yeah, Hernandez had a really, really good half, even though he came on after the Corlil Cato injury. But it was towards the end of the first half where we saw the quality that we're used to from OKC. This another header from Chavez and the save as well from Blanchette, who, by the way, is having a pretty good half as well.
Yeah, we might have a goal and save of the week candidate in the same game at the moment for the same team. Here are the first half stats for both teams. Pretty even as far as shots. Shots on target slightly in favor of OKC, and despite Jerson Echeverry telling us possession was going to be key, stats aren't really going his way, although to be fair, that second half of the first half, those last 20 minutes, OKC kind of put the possession back in their favor after the Toros dictated it early on.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting, the adjustment that both coaches have to make in halftime, especially thinking that, of course, OKC as the home side, they're not only looking to tie the game, but maybe go for 3 points. And if you're RGV, even though you might be happy with a draw, the reality is that you have played a pretty good half, and maybe if you find some consistency in the second half, you can end up with 3 points that would help you, start a little bit of coming back from a tough start of the 2020 regular season.
That one yellow card, by the way, is on the RGV side. Kembo Kibato, number 22, is the man to watch as far as that situation is concerned. Saw a little bit of everything in that first half. Couple of good saves from both goalkeepers as well, and then the great goal by Beckford as well. And now here at Tap Stadium, it's a round of applause from the fans here for the first responders who have been so important in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic, and they're making themselves heard here at Tap Stadium at the moment.
Yeah, and this is great to see, Sean. I think this is something that, we all recognize, but we don't do enough. We have to do it every day. We have to do it in every single game. We have seen it in USL Championship. It's impossible for us to be calling this game or for the players to be participating in the league if those, people fighting in hospitals for our own, people in the country. So, that's a moment that we need to acknowledge in every single game, and I'm really happy that the USL Championship has taken its time, to give credit what credit is due.
There are a couple of changes. Two for RGV and one for OKC. as well. On the RGV side of things, Kyle Edwards and Jonathan Jimenez both head to the bench. Will Langlo comes on. And also James Murphy comes on. So it's Legault and Murphy who come on for RGV for those two changes. And then Kyle Edwards, who had a couple of nice moments in the first half, he ends up getting substituted at halftime. Jonathan Jimenez, he defended rather well at times as well in the first half.
Yeah, I was really surprised with the first half from Kyle Edwards. It was quality with the ball and a threat on the counter attack. So we'll see what the plan is for Gerson Echeverry with bringing him out, because you will think that the counter attack will still be there for the taking for RGV, but now with Edwards out and maybe Beckford will remain as the one option with his pace.
And the OKC substitution brought to you by Cox, your Cox Connect to Compete substitution, is Brad Dunwell off for Charlie Ward, number 19, who is on, making changes in home internet with low-cost options. Visit cox.com/connect to compete. There the confirmation of the other two RGV changes as well. Again, Legault is on for Jimenez, Murphy on for Edwards. McLaughlin fighting that forward. It was flinged into the penalty area, but OKC's back line able to clear that out. And Ida sends it up the pitch. It's out for an OKC throw. What are you looking for the first 5 minutes here for OKC? They really dictated the tempo at the end of that first half.
Yeah, I think maybe they're going to have to try to carry some of the momentum of the last 5 to 10 minutes of the first half. It's not going to be easy because, RGV, they have collected themselves. They have received a message from Gerson Echeverry on what they need to do in the first 5 to 10 minutes to stay away from that scenario. So, it's going to be all about having the ball and taking its time, finding that first goal, and then if you have time, then go for the 3 points.
Tyberson and Luke Herpa still on the bench for RGV if they feel they need more goals late on in the match. And I think we both kind of had a feeling we'd see Charlie Ward at some point tonight. Yeah. He's a guy that, number 19 in green and white, who can really pick out a pass. And Gerson Echeverry told us earlier this week that he's a big danger man when he's on the pitch, and he's someone they're going to have to really keep an eye on as the second half progresses. As Chavez went down, penalty. It's a penalty. Well, it was a slow developing, I beg your pardon, it's a goal kick. Chavez looked like he was fine with it, the decision not going his way. OKC fans thought they were given a penalty, and obviously we did as well. It's a late contact on the challenge. You could argue maybe there should have been a penalty there.
Well, yeah.
It's not been given.
It was close, and then the referee did not help at all because of the way he called the goal kick. But, there's contact there. I don't know if it's enough for a penalty. But, oh boy, that would have been a great start for OKC.
I think the part of it that stood out was the ball was away from Chavez when the contact was made, but he said, was there enough contact there? Here's Beckford, the goal scorer. Garcia comes away with it. You're right, Jose. That would have been a dream start to the second half if OKC had gotten the decision.
Look at the pressure from RGV.
Boy, they're really pushing up the pitch, aren't they? And they've got it back here with Isidro Martinez. Boy, ping-ponging around between Garcia and Ward, but Garcia lifts it away. And the header is cushioned back, and a chance for Robert Coronado to reset things for the Toros. This is kind of getting close to where RGV picked things up at the start of the game.
Yeah, well, the adjustment that we see so far from RGV is basically, let's get back to what we did in the first 15 to 20 minutes. We are that team. So if you allowed OKC to control the game like they did in the last 10 minutes of the first half, they're going to score on you. There's no doubt about it. So you have to stay away from that. You have to regain possession, and you have to understand that you're here to compete if you're RGV, and not just to, wait for the mistake or just wait what OKC can do. They are pretty much capable of playing this game.
Atiba Harris committed the foul a few moments ago. He was given a bit of a talking to by the referee, Michael Kapp, and that might have been his last warning. It was a bit of a rough challenge with not much contact on the ball. This will go the opposite way here for OKC. What a bright spot Zachary Ellis-Hayden was in that first half. And again, we saw it with Fresno last year, how good he could potentially be. Not the best of touches from him that time, although it wasn't the best ball back to him from Ward. It'll be a throw-in for the Toros. But you bring in Ellis-Hayden, Aaron Basulovic as well, and the phenomenal trio really over to OKC, and that ball goes out of play. And you lose to Sean Brown, 15 goals. He goes to the India Super League, and the reloading job, Jaime Chavez being the third of those three coming in from Fresno, and OKC's got plenty of firepower, but the Toros have been flexing their muscles so far in this first half, and they got an opportunity here from yet another corner. Decent in-swinger. Cochran maybe could have caught that. Instead, he punched it away. Ball still not cleared here. A couple of jerseys being pulled there. Flung out to the far side. Beckford able to retain possession. Lovely touch to get past one. Flipped it over the top. Thought he got fouled. Not given by the referee. And Harris clears for OKC. And it's out for a Toros throw. And RGV can reset again as they're slowly but surely trying to break down OKC again in search of a second here. McLaughlin fighting his way into the penalty area, but losing the battle in the end. And Highland clears.
Yeah, if you're RGV, you want to see a little bit more from Lucatero. He's a quality player with the ball. He needs to move closer to McLaughlin. And maybe as well, moving back a little bit, trying to get a touch of the ball, gain some confidence. So far, we haven't seen much from him, but we know the quality for the young guy.
Early on in the first half, we saw Christian Lucatero get on it quite a bit. He's been on the set pieces quite a bit, as well. But like you said, still kind of waiting for him to fully burst out. It is Martinez on this set piece. Falls for Beckford. Beckford thinks about it, takes the shot, and it whisks by the top of the corner. It's out for a goal kick.
It's good to see, Sean, that Beckford is back.
The confidence to even take that on, Jose.
He's a quality player. And I think, RGV is going to benefit from him, but the league as a whole is going to benefit from having a player like Beckford on the field as much as possible.
All over the top. Chavez was in the area, as was Ellis-Hayden, and it's out for a throw-in for the Energy. That was something that OKC didn't try a ton in the first half, but when they did, those balls over the top, they were pretty effective. And Jaime Chavez, pretty big target to aim at up top. And there's a foul as Kodai Ida came back for it. The Japan international wins a free kick for his club here, which is taken quickly. Ward switching fields. Lovely chest down there. Looked like it was going to be over the head of Ellis-Hayden, but he keeps it alive. Chance to service this into the penalty area. Hernandez, though, lost track of it. And Coronado and Beckford combined to not quite clear it, actually. It's one back, Ellis-Hayden to Hernandez, and it's blocked out of there by Isidro Martinez at the vital moment. Still a fight for, still not fully cleared. One back, and then it falls through, and it'll be gobbled up in the end by Blanchette. Boy, RGV playing with fire that time.
Yep. It's very interesting to see what Hernandez has been able to bring into the game. Corley Cato was having a really good game. That's what we thought at least, but he changed things in a way that he has been able to involve his teammates a lot more. And that's whenever they get close to the box and Hernandez gets a hold of the ball, things change for OKC.
Lucatero had nowhere to go on the near side during that last passage of play. Martinez didn't have anywhere to go that time, and it's out for an OKC throw. Again, if the result holds, RGV would be level on points with San Antonio and Oklahoma City. And of course, even though it's still early on, with what RGV has been through over the last couple of weeks, I think Jerson Echeverry would have bit your hand off for 4 points from 3 games.
Absolutely.
Still time, though, for Oklahoma City, who with a win themselves, again, if they turn it around, would be 3 points clear of anybody else at the top of Group D. And remember, the top 2 advance to the knockout stages. Chance here on the break for Lucatero. Martinez made an overlapping run. And he tried to switch fields, Lucatero did, over to that far side, but James Murphy was able to keep it in, but couldn't keep the play going initially. Now he has it in the penalty area. Tried to find Lucatero, but Garcia was there just in time for the energy to clear.
Yeah, it was a good ball for Lucatero, but it was Martinez who was late on the run to the right side, and that pretty much messed up the timing of the play. So, you know, those type of connections, especially when you move the ball forward, they come with time. So this is probably something that we're not going to see 2 or 3 weeks from now, when everybody's in sync and everybody's more accustomed to what they should do on the field.
I mentioned the 3 Fresno players that came over last season. Charlie Ward was brought in from Ottawa Fury FC. And it's just been a great addition to this squad, and we're going to get a chance hopefully over the last 30-plus minutes to see what he can do as well. Number 19 in the green and white striped kit for Oklahoma City. And we've talked about the improbability of where RGV are at right now, and again, there's a long way to go for that to quickly evaporate, but when you consider the fact that, again, they've been through this crazy couple of weeks, everyone's dealing with the pandemic, as OKC fires that too far downfield to be a goal kick. And I think Beckford is down again. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
To add to RGV's problems here.
Hopefully this is not related. No, it doesn't look like it is related to the injury in the first half. I think it's just cramps.
So again, they'll have a look at him. But again, on top of that, right, they've been dealing with all of these things with travel and other teams, you know, kind of waiting for them as far as being fresh and things like that. But we talked about this before the game, Jose, and a little bit earlier. You lose not only Carlos Small to the Panamanian League, you lose Michael Salazar to the MLS, you lose Wilmer Cabrera, the youngster at Butler University, goes to play college soccer in the Big East. Jesus Enriquez goes to group rivals San Antonio, and Eric Bird goes to group rivals FC Tulsa. You lose something like 30 goals or so and almost 100 appearances with those guys. And yet RGV are still fighting for their lives here in this Group D. And again, OKC, you can't knock them either. They've been dealing with a lot of changes to their roster as well. But just considering that formula that you whip up in that oven for RGV, it's pretty incredible where they are right now. And again, they're trying to hold on to dear life to that lead.
Yeah, it is incredible. And you know, after all those changes that you're talking about, then here comes a pandemic. And then you have a preseason, and then you think you're ready for a normal regular season, normal 2020 USL Championship tournament. And guess what? You have to stop for 3 months and a half. And then back to get started. And here's where we are. It's pretty much incredible. And look who's coming on.
Yeah, so Deshane Beckford's night is over. He has the goal that separates the sides, but it's the hero from the game against San Antonio Taberson, who's on, the Brazilian, to replace Beckford for the last 30 minutes or so. So the man who scored the late equalizer against San Antonio is on. And Taberson, Rowan Nunez will get a chance to make an impact as this game goes on.
Taberson is a player that if you're watching for the first time tonight, you'll fall in love with his quality. It's just unbelievable. He's very good with the ball and, you know, plenty of experience even though he's only 26 years old.
McLaughlin he let it run. Miscommunication between him and Taberson, and it's out for an OKC throw-in. You know, Coach Echeverry told us earlier this week that, you know, in the game against San Antonio, he really stood out, Taberson, and was really one of the only guys on the ball that felt like he was very comfortable on it, could do with that whatever he wants with it, really. And that really stood out to Gerson Echeverry, and he felt confident going forward with what he had with him, as there's a defensive mistake here by Castellanos. Chance for the Energy here, but offside is the call. It was put in. And the goal will not count. It's going to be brought back for offside. OKC will make a change here. Kyle Highland will make way. It's another Cox substitution. Your Cox Connect to Compete substitution. Kyle Highland makes way. And Frank Lopez will come on. The Cuban will make his appearance in this game tonight.
Yeah, for Lopez, he's a goal scorer. He played with San Antonio in 2019, played 14 matches, scored 8 goals. So without a doubt, it's OKC. It's the time to go for it. And without a doubt, you're risking it with Highland coming out as a defender.
And there's a foul going against Oklahoma City, that time in a booking as well. And I believe it's on the man who just came in, Frank Lopez. Is, by the way, again, that Cox substitution, making changes in home internet with low-cost options. Visit cox.com/connect to compete. Take another look at this challenge by Frank Lopez, who literally just came on.
Yep, that's a yellow every single time.
Kind of went through him, didn't he?
Yeah, you know, sometimes he come with intensity and you want to do a lot in the first 5 minutes. The first couple of minutes you get a yellow, then you realize, wait, I have to slow down a little bit.
Chance here for RGV, put into the penalty area, and OKC scrambling away off the 6-yard line. And it's out for a throw-in for the Toros. It was a lovely ball into the penalty area by Legault. Played forward by Basulovic for OKC. Lucatero brought down. Another card will be brandished here.
Referees issued a yellow card to OKC and GFC's number 22, Zach Ellis Hayden.
Zach Ellis Hayden is the guilty party and will be cautioned for this challenge from behind. And he's got a fistful of jersey and then a chest down just to make sure.
Yeah, very easy call for Michael Kapp, the referee for tonight's game.
Energy fans, be sure to participate in your True Sky Credit Union Man of the Match voting. This ball's floated in. Taberson gets his first chance, and he hits it harmlessly to CJ Cochran. Again, make sure to participate in your True Sky Credit Union Man of the Match voting following the final whistle. Find the poll on Energy FC Twitter and vote for your True Sky Union Man of the Match. True Sky Credit Union, where you truly belong. OKC trying to make sure that their names are being put into that Man of the Match consideration, but a chance goes by the wayside at the other end. And RGV's counterattack is cleared. How about Kodai Ida getting all the way back to clear that away for the Energy?
Yeah, talk about team effort. You know, defensively, both teams, they have been really good. We haven't seen many mistakes other than the first couple of minutes. We saw one from RGV trying to come out of the back. But then other than that, it has been a very good match so far.
Feels like there's another goal or two left in this one.
I agree, yes. I think it's going to be an interesting finish. I think we haven't seen the game change very much after the substitutions, which is something really good. And I think at some point, RGV is going to have to, you know, move back a little bit and just let OKC dictate and maybe find an opportunity in the counter-attack. You cannot expose yourself so much. You're already leading, and we're getting towards the end of the game, so it's going to be interesting to see as well how much OKC can involve in the game. Charlie Ward, who came on in the second half.
See the total shots there, +5 in favor of RGV. Probably not what we expected at the beginning of this game. But OKC still fighting to get back into this one, looking for an equalizer. That's off of Hernandez last. And just what the Toros were hoping for, a throw in on that far side. John Pasquarella hoping his team can get back into this one. He told us before the game, he knows despite what everything has, despite everything that's happened, I should say, to RGV, he knows how tough this team is to deal with and how tough they are to break down. That's been the trademark of Gerson Echeverry's reign at Rio Grande Valley FC Toros since he took over a few years ago. It's been that defense and how compact they can be to see results out when they need them. Again, at times it has let them down, but when they get points, a lot of times it's because of that back line and that defensive midfield. Chance for Ellis Hayden here, trying to weave through a couple defenders. Ward picks it up. Looks to switch fields here. Lovely ball. Oh, lovely skill there to keep that alive initially by Ida. He fights for it. Taberson trying to fend him off. It's a good battle between those two. And in the end, Taberson wins a free kick. That was a nice 50-50 scrum right there.
Yeah, that was beautiful to see. You know, it's just two quality players. But this time it's Taberson defensively who wins the battle.
Oh, look at that here.
Look at that.
Scorpion style there from Ida to keep that alive. Taberson, though, held his ground. And it's going to be cleared by RGV. That was a lovely piece of skill by the Japanese international.
Yeah, giving the OKC social media team something to work with, huh?
A little ooh and ah for them, really. No question about that. Here's Taberson. And Isidro Martinez whips it out wide, right into the path of Coronado. Here's Lucatero trying to pick somebody out, and nobody quite got to that until it was pushed aside by Ida. And it's an RGV corner on this near side. Meanwhile, the USL Championship looks towards August with one final nationally televised match in July. An early contest for Group E supremacy takes center stage as St. Louis FC and Indy 11 look to create early separation from the rest of the group. St. Louis FC and Indy 11, Sunday, July 26th at 5 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes. Martinez to whip this one in for RGV. Header at the back post was deflected and tipped over by Cochran. Another fantastic save, this time by CJ Cochran, who is our player to watch tonight, and gave you something to watch right there. That one was not for the cameras. He needed to push that one over the top.
Yeah, wonderful save from Cochran, the header from Castellanos. And the last minute save right there. And that could have been the game.
Another ball played in and headed away at that back post. Ellis Hayden trying to lead the chase out, but Taberson keeps it alive on this far side. Whip back in. The header from McLaughlin is just wide. Oh boy, Gerson Echeverry is loving what he's seeing. I think he saw that it was also deflected out. This is going to be another corner kick for the Toros as McLaughlin tried to head that wide. Might have just taken a little bit of a nick.
Yep.
Yeah, off the back shoulder.
Yep.
Off the OKC defender. Another corner for Isidro Martinez to whip in.
Yeah, you know, if something we can mention about the OKC defense tonight is that every cross coming in, the RGV players, they have been able to win that battle, so something to look out.
Here comes another one. McLaughlin was there, but it's headed away at the near post. Volleyed back in and deflected away off the 6-yard line. Lucatero then fires it and sends it soaring into orbit. And RGV all of a sudden have ripped control away as CJ Cochran can't find a ball. And now he's got one. What's he got to do to get his soccer ball around here?
Well, that shouldn't happen at home.
But how about RGV? Again, in past years, we would think that RGV would sit back, absorb pressure. They're going for it. They're trying to find that knockout punch here. 20 minutes to play.
Yes, this is very impressive from RGV. So far, we asked for consistency from them, and I think we have seen it throughout 70 minutes. And you know, this is something that should you know, build some confidence within the team, especially moving forward. You know, you're not going to be playing at home very much this month, so you know, when you go on the road and face a team like OKC with so many experienced players and put out this type of performance, it's something that you can build on.
OKC still fighting to level this game up. Lovely piece of play here. Chance plenty to aim at in the penalty area, and it's headed away by Castellanos at the vital moment. Lovely ball flicked forward by McLaughlin, and Taberson's off and running for RGV. Taberson sizing things up. Tries to curl one like he did against San Antonio, but this one is well off target.
Well, you know, that's his signature play, because in the game against San Antonio, in the first half, he tried it and hit the post. Second half, he was perfect and probably scored the goal of the week. So, you know, we know Tyberson. The league is going to learn a lot about him in the next few weeks. So, you know, it's interesting to see how he took his time. He understood that he wouldn't win the 1v1 with the Hida. So he didn't rush the play, ended up taking the shot. Unfortunately, it was over the bar.
Here come RGV again. Good pressure there. Up top initially by Basulovic. Now on the near side. Played forward by Lugo, and then it was, in the end, rolled all the way to CJ Cochran. And OKC can reset things. Ward. Played toward the near side here, Ida. Harris. Taravel looking to find somebody a little bit further downfield, and that's a foul against Manley. A little late on that challenge of Hernandez. And Garcia's already asking to get the defenders out of the way so he can figure out a way to get past this RGV defense.
Yeah, it's not a good decision for Manley. You're so far away from the goal. You don't want to, you don't want to facilitate things for OKC. Now here's a free kick, and everybody can get inside the box. And with a player like Garcia with such a good quality, this is a pretty good opportunity.
Lofts it in, far post, flags up on the far side. And it's going to be offside. I think it was Harris who made the run forward from that back line. And a chance to clear for RGV. Safe digging is no accident. Simply dial 811 to get utility lines in your yard marked so you can avoid potential injury and expense. It's a free service, so just do it. Energy FC would like to thank Oki 811 for being a sponsor of Energy FC. Still work for OKC to do here in this second half. Charlie Ward. Lovely attempt at the pass just over the head of Hernandez. Almost, I think, slipped on the track on the backside there, but he's fine, gets back onto the pitch. Better pressure from OKC here, but RGV play their way out of it. Taberson's ball out wide. Able to hit a teammate in stride. Chance to play this into the penalty area. Taberson makes the run and couldn't hit the target. They ran into CJ Cochran, and they both have a nice moment there as football turned into football there for a second.
It was a great cross. Coming from the left side, it was just perfect. But the timing wasn't right. So you see, this looks like a handball.
And that was definitely not controlled with the chest, that's for sure.
Yeah. But what if we see that inside the box? Then what do you think? Is that a penalty or is that not a penalty? That's the question. Remember,
that does come up.
We talked about it in the first half.
We did. I would say that, yeah, I think that's that was handled. But a little bit different because the arm's extended there.
Yeah, it is.
To be fair as well. Here come OKC again. Floated into the penalty area. Manley was there defensively for RGV. Ida keeps it alive for the Energy. Garcia. Ida. Recirculated back around. Ward assessing his options. Tries to find Hernandez, but it's out for a goal kick. The USL's elite pre-professional platform, USL Academy, allows clubs across the USL to build a pathway to pro soccer by bringing together top local youth talent. Following the success of the first Academy Cup events, clubs can now apply to participate in the USL Academy League kicking off in the spring of 2021. For more information, visit usl-academy.com or search hashtag USL Academy on social media. Ida was down there for a second. As we head to our second half hydration break. Score hasn't changed, Jose, since halftime, or really since the 11th minute, when it was this moment from Deshane Beckford. Dribbling, whoop, gets through one between the legs, and then a lovely finish.
Yeah, it's a great finish from Beckford. You know, it's something that we saw early on from RGV, excuse me. And, you know, it's really, it talks about the quality moving forward from this team. You know, we have been able to see the team building up play all the way from the back, but we also see a lot of confidence in the counter-attack play. And that's something that you don't see very often from a young team. So it's good to see this from RGV, and it's a goal that we'll probably see a couple more times in social media. It's a wonderful goal from Beckford. Unfortunately, he came out of the match. He was hurt in the first half, but was able to recover in the second half. Looks like was a little bit tired and had to be pulled off the game.
That's a small little win for RGV as well, that Beckford was able to play out the first half and a little bit into the second half as well to keep Taberson at least a little more fresh to come in. And now he's been the one that they've been looking to finish this game off, possibly for RGV.
Yeah, it's really interesting, Sean, especially because, you know, you look into these games and also you have to take into account that you have to, if you're the coach, you have to manage the minutes of your players. And from what we saw from Taberson against San Antonio, we thought, oh my God, he's a starter against OKC. There's no way he's in the bench. And it played out good for Gerson Echeverri because bringing Beckford in was the right decision. And now Taberson is not only going to help you in the end of this match, but he's also going to be fresh for the weekend when you play again against San Antonio.
12 minutes remaining for Oklahoma City. Trying to get back into this one. It's a foul going the other way. A little bit of extracurriculars off the ball here. Murphy and Harris, I think we're getting into it a little bit after that challenge on Zachary Ellis-Hayden. There's a player down, I think, as well for RGV as Ellis-Hayden is back up.
It looks like it's Kembo Kivaru.
It is. Another look at it here. Both guys going for the ball.
Yeah, looks okay.
And Kibato kept on going. Ellis-Hayden, I guess, got the worst of that challenge between him and Taberson. Well, to be fair, Taberson didn't get the ball.
Yeah, I think it's a good call by the referee, but I mean, they were both going for the ball, so.
There's a little bit of afters there that we didn't get a great look at, but it didn't look like it led to anything too serious, so we get back underway.
You gotta love the intensity in the game.
No question about that. As you can see briefly at the bottom of your screen, looks like Oklahoma City's getting ready to make a couple more changes here soon. Ball goes out of play as Ida couldn't quite get there. And here come a couple of changes here. Speaking of Kodai Ida, he will be sacrificed here.
Leading the match, number 9, Jaime Chavez.
Jaime Chavez coming out of the game.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Jaime Chavez is the second here. As, again, your Cox connect to compete substitutions. Jonathan Brown on for Kodai Ida is the first change. And then Jaime Chavez makes way. As Christian Ibiaga is on for OKC.
It's an interesting decision to bring Chavez out of the game. They're very in need of a goal.
They might get one here, but the back heel is saved by Blanchett. It was right at him, and it was one of the substitutes in the end who got the touch. But in the end, Frank Lopez couldn't put it past the goalkeeper. Ward, Vasulovic, Ward, good ball in, over the head. Chance for Brown to put it back into the penalty area. Player goes down, corner kick.
Yeah, I think it's a good call from the referee. I don't see enough for a penalty.
Look at this last sequence here. Brown put a nice ball into the penalty area. Back heel was deflected, actually, by I think might have been Castellanos. As it's another First Fidelity Bank corner kick with under 9 minutes to play for OKC. Garcia over it. Ball whipped in back post. The header deflected. Nope, it's a goal kick.
Yeah, it's going to be a goal kick. It was Ativa Harris with the opportunity. He seemed to be in a good position to take that header on goal, but unable to do so. And a missed opportunity for OKC.
Energy FC would like to thank SSM Health St. Anthony for being the official healthcare partner and Team Docs for the Energy FC. SSM Health St. Anthony's support on the sidelines and the community is unmatched. For 121 years, SSM Health St. Anthony has been ready to help and heal patients across OKC. Still time for OKC to level this game up. Harris waited to try to find a teammate. Ellis Hayden just about kept that alive. Ellis Hayden tried to find that pass forward. Again, another player goes down near the penalty area. Not sure that was even in the penalty area. Nothing given. And CJ Cochran will reset for Oklahoma City. Here's Ward. Hernandez. Harris. Lovely ball to Hernandez. And it was Hernandez who didn't take enough time there, I think, to assess his options. But in the end, Garcia, who thought he was fouled, is said to have fouled Taberson. And another change upcoming for RGV. It looks like Christian Lucatero's night is done.
Yeah, and it's going to be Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. coming on, the Honduran, getting a chance
number 80, Christian
to solidify the effort from RGV
number 40, Juan Carlos Obregón.
tonight. This is without a doubt, the best game of the season so far for RGV. You know, it's easy to be frustrated if you're OKC, but you know, you have the players, and you're gonna compete throughout the season. There's no doubt about it. And you know, it's one of those nights in which RGV came in and they played a game that we never saw coming. So, you know, things happen, and you have to move on. If you're OKC, quick turnaround as well.
Ball played into the penalty area. Cochran measures it and catches it. It's really been just about, I would say, the perfect performance from RGV, but they've still got 5 minutes plus a chunk of stoppage time to see out what would be a massive result for their Group D chances. Team that narrowly missed out on the USL Championship playoffs last season after really sprinting to the finish. We talked about this before we came on, Jose, just how strong they finished last season, RGV, but couldn't make the USL Championship playoffs because of that slow start, and they're trying to get a result that would really give them a good chance. Ellis Hayden trying to change things, but it's saved by Blanchette.
Man, what a good game from Blanchette. You have to give him credit as well. You know, we concentrate a lot on Beckford because of the goal, but if you look back into this game, you're gonna probably identify two key players for RGV, and one of them is Kimbo Kivado.
Here he comes.
Yep.
Kivado.
He's a key player for them because, you know, in the middle of the field, you need some composure, and he was able to bring that to the table tonight. So he's a key player, and Blanchette as well, the goalkeeper. Good saves towards the end of the first half, key moments in the match.
All switched over to Jonathan Brown. Hernandez. Still Hernandez. Trying to whip that towards the 6-yard box, headed away. And Kivado boots it forward. Up ahead is McLaughlin. Can he get there? It's Cochran's header. Back upfield. Obregón nearly got back onto it. Thought maybe he'd try from distance, but couldn't get possession for it initially. Brown trying to hold him off. And the help there from Legault, and it's out for a throw-in for OKC, who have just about 3 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Hernandez. Lovely ball played in. Castellanos was there. Harris deflected out for a throw. Got a good bounce off the track there to get it right back. It almost went over the wall over there. Hometown hop, get it right back for a quick throw-in. It's going to be a long throw-in for OKC. Into the penalty area towards Harris, who flicked it on well. Chance here! Off the bar and in! OKC are level, and it's the substitute, Frank Lopez, who levels it up for the Energy with 2 minutes to play.
The Cuban international. He had a shot on goal early on. Saved by Blanchette. This time, nothing left to do for the goalkeeper. It all starts with the throw-in from Ellis Hayden. Atiba Harris keeps the ball in play, and then the shot. Look at that. Hits the post and in.
That OKC Energy goal brought to you by Love's. A fantastic goal.
And it is well deserved as well, Sean. It has been a good game for both teams. Both teams, they have been able to control the game at some point.
Bimbo Bakeries USA brings you that OKC Energy equalizer by Frank Lopez. Fantastic resolve by OKC to level this game up. It totally changes the complexion in Group D. And RGV's resistance finally broken after 88 minutes. Still time for a winner, though.
You have to give a lot of credit to John Pascarella, because we thought with bringing Jaime Chavez out of the match, it might have been a bad decision, especially with the quality that we know that Jaime Chavez has. But guess what? He trusted the system. He trusted that Frankie Lopez could go up top, could go inside the box, and generate enough opportunities. And guess what? He scored the goal that for now brings us to a 1-1. You're right. We have plenty of time to go. 6 more minutes. And things can change.
SSM Health St. Anthony stoppage time is 6 minutes. A lot of time. We could see a winner here from either side. The way it's been going, though, OKC looked the more likely. That's out for a throw-in. Energy FC is proud to welcome Social Capital as the official watch party location for the 2020 season. Bring your family and watch every Energy FC away match at the #1 rated craft beer bar in Oklahoma by Forbes Magazine and craftbeer.com. Social Capital boasts 120 independent craft beers on tap, a variety of cocktails and wine, a full menu of street tacos and more, with Oklahoma City's largest rooftop patio. Still 5 minutes to go. Can someone find a winner in what's been a phenomenal game here in Group D? Ellis Hayden is taken down by Taberson. And another set-piece opportunity for John Pascarella's OKC Energy.
Yeah, I'm sure Jerson Echeverria is not very happy with that.
Well, this is where OKC have had opportunities from set plays. And I think Jerson Echeverria is just hoping they can hold on for a point here. The way it's been going, RGV been pushed back and back again. It's a good ball in! Chance for the winner, it's off the line! Was there a hand in there? It's a corner.
I think both teams are calling for a handball.
James Murphy flicked it off the line for RGV. This looked destined for the back of the net. Well, I'll tell you what, Harris might have handled that for OKC. It's a First Fidelity Bank corner laid on, 4 minutes to play. In it comes, and it's headed away by Castellanos, only as far as Hernandez. Ward trying to size it up. Ward looking for space to put it into the penalty area. Everyone's waiting for him. Hernandez. It's a reset to Ellis Hayden. Ball floated in towards the penalty area. Ward runs onto it for OKC. Lovely cutback. Leaves it for Basulovic. Garcia came up short on that cross. Coronado clears. Throw in for OKC. There will be a change late on here for RGV. As Garrett McLaughlin will come off. And Kevin Rodriguez will come on.
A good game overall for McLaughlin. He didn't get a hold of the ball very much, but kept the OKC defense honest throughout the match. First year player for McLaughlin. And now Rodriguez onto the match.
Scored from a throw-in with the first goal for OKC. This time, though, RGV can clear. And the Toros nick it here. Ball is played forward onto that far side. Taberson's making the run into the penalty area. as is Obregon. Chance here, deflected out. And it looks like it's going to be a corner for RGV with 2 minutes to go.
And now if you're RGV, you have to make a decision here whether you want to go for the goal or if you want to hold on to the ball and secure that point.
Well, I'll say this, Isidro Martinez is in no hurry to take this for RGV. Jerson Echeverry was so close to picking up 3 huge points. Could he still get one last chance at it here? It's played short. All put into the penalty area over everyone's head almost, but it falls for Taberson. He was the hero last time out against San Antonio. He puts it in the penalty area. Big chance, blocked off the 6-yard line. One more shot, fired wide. Goodness. Nearly there for RGV. Taberson nearly made it happen again. But OKC survive.
What an opportunity for RGV. Beautifully played on the right side from Tyberson, who puts the ball in, but unable to finish is RGV.
Still 45 seconds left for OKC. They lose possession, though. Do the Toros have one last try at it? That might be a foul.
That's a red.
Well, it was a late challenge. Coronado's incensed. And you can see what both teams feel about the decision that Michael Kapp is about to make here. We're almost at the end of the game here. This might add a little bit on at the end of the 6 added minutes. It was a challenge that you could argue was a bit out of line. And Frank Lopez is telling Coronado what he thought he did. Let's take a look at what actually happened. Well, both feet go down. Michael Kapp is, we head into the 97th minute, trying to sort this out.
Referees issued a yellow card.
It is.
In the end, I think it's a yellow card basically because he was able to touch the ball first.
Yeah, that might have been the difference. Although I'll tell you what, Robert Coronado might be lucky to still be on the pitch.
Yeah, initially I thought it was a red card.
And it's still petering over here. Both coaches not happy with how that was handled. Jerson Echeverry wants, he's still barking at the 4th official, Jerson Echeverry, and I think John Pascarella was just curious what the card color was going to be. And again, we're over the 6 added minutes. This is just going to add on more time here. Both sets of players are still giving Michael Kapp an earful here. At the end of all that, there's going to be a chance here for OKC to possibly steal all 3 points. There's been a couple of borderline decisions tonight, no question about that. Jerson Echeverry is just hoping that his team, he wants his team organized here for this last, potentially last, set-piece opportunity. Again, this took a while, and again, that's not going to help. With Taberson wondering where the ball should be placed, and he's been booked for time wasting.
Well, I think Tyberson is right, because that is not exactly the spot of the foul.
Here's the deal. Now Michael Kapp's backing them up to the original spot, and Taberson saying, I'm just getting you the ball there. So he's actually, in the end, you could argue, helping move things along, but it's too late. He's been booked.
Yeah, maybe next time Taberson needs to wait until the referee moves the ball himself.
I was going to say, I think that looked a lot worse than it did initially because, again, OKC moved the free kick up about 10 yards.
Yes, yes.
Well, that's a tough luck yellow for Taberson. And we'll see how much longer this game goes on. Meanwhile, ball is flung in by Garcia. Blanchett, how good has he been all night long for RGV? He's the first one to it as we enter the 99th minute. See how much more time will be played. We're going to at least, I think, get to the 100-minute mark. Is that going to be enough time for someone to grab all 3 points? Little nibble there from Obregon. And another bucket.
The referees issued the yellow card to OKC and GSC's Jose Hernandez in the 90th minute.
And I think it's actually Jose Hernandez from OKC who has been booked for dissent. And there's the confirmation of that. And there is the confirmation of full time. And OKC are wondering why there wasn't more time added on for the stoppages. Regardless, the man you see on your screen not happy he didn't get a chance to win it is the man who tied it, Frank Lopez, for Oklahoma City. Those two coaches, a lot of respect between the two. Jerson Echeverry's side had the lead for 88 minutes, but it's JP's side, John Pascarella, who fight to the end. They grab a point at the end of this hard-fought, competitive match, and it finishes at Taft Stadium, Oklahoma City, Energy 1. RGV 1. Take a deep breath.
Yeah, listen, it was very interesting match. I think both of the teams, they can build up from this. I think it was a good showing for everybody watching and for everybody in the stands. And if you're RGV, you got a point on the road, and if you're OKC, then you need to be better next time, especially in the first half. You need to dominate possession and dictate the tempo of play.
We'll take a quick break. More on the other side. OKC and RGV finish level here at Taft Stadium. More to come after a quick break.
We'll see you guys all on August 1st as we take on.
Wanted to get braces, always considered it, thought about it. How long is this going to take? Am I too old to do this? What am I going to look like with braces on? With payment options and everything else, nothing's hindering me now. I just need to go ahead and do it. The staff, for one, is awesome. The doctor's great. I know I had friends growing up saying, oh, it hurts. I didn't have that experience. I can't wait to see my teeth without being masked by wires, right? Hindsight, I would have done it again 100 times over.
Welcome back. Energy with a 2-0 advantage. The 6th minute of action. Now would be a great time to announce the new healthcare partner of the OKC Energy. It's SSM Health St. Anthony. SSM Health St. Anthony. SSM Health St. Anthony. St. Anthony.
At OG&E, the energy we deliver is more than electrical. We energize education by supporting schools to help our children reach their potential. So every time you see Big Orange out there working for you, remember we're also working to turn power into empowerment. Because at OG&E, we do more than energize a power grid. At OG&E, we energize life. Come see how at OGEtogether.com.
Tonight's final score is brought to you by SSM Health St. Anthony's. After a wild ride of 90 minutes, actually almost 100 minutes, really. It's OKC Energy 1, Rio Grande Valley FC Toros 1. Let's take a look at tonight's man of the match presented by True Sky Credit Union. It is the man who scored the equalizer, Jose Frank Lopez, who came on as a second-half substitute.
Yeah, I think he pretty much took over Jaime Chavez's spot late in the game, and he was able to deliver this right-footed shot. But you have to give a lot of credit as well to Tiva Harris, who was able to leave the ball in play after the throw-in from Ellis Hayden, and then the shot. The ball hits the post and it goes in.
Here are your full-time highlights brought to you by First Fidelity Bank. It all started with Deshane Beckford's phenomenal opening goal. Bit of a Meg show, and then he finished it off with poise.
Yeah, it was a great start for RGV. A couple of chances before the goal as well, but it was Beckford who made the difference. You know, it's just pure quality from Beckford inside the box as well. You know, controlled pace and then cold-blooded finish in front of CJ Cochran. That was the first goal of the match, and after that, you know, we saw a little bit of a reaction from OKC trying to get back into the game, especially towards the end of the first half. They created a couple of chances.
As soon as Hernandez came on, he kind of changed the game for OKC. It was kind of a necessity to bring him on, but he had a big chance here at the end of the first half.
Yeah, no doubt. And Cordell Cato, he was having a very good half, but what Hernandez brought to the table was Very, very good. And in the end, it's a Blanchette as well with a wonderful save after the header from Jaime Chavez.
Made a couple of big saves during the game. So did CJ Cochran. What a big save. That was very similar, and another potential save of the week candidate there from the OKC goalkeeper.
Yeah, no doubt. I think if you look back into this game, you're gonna look at very good defensive plays and the attacking as well. The counter attack was very good from both sides tonight. So, you know, in the end, it's once again Frankie Lopez who ends up scoring the goal, and the 1-1, which is, you know, it's fair, I guess, for both teams. It's not exactly what OKC was looking for, but it's a fair result.
This ends up being a big point for OKC. Looked like they were going to drop all three here, but Frank Lopez, the second half substitute, comes to the rescue for the home side to grab a point. As we take a look at the full-time stats brought to you by Loves, and boy, 21 shots for RGV. Can't remember the last time they even touched that mark, but again, 8-5 shots on target favoring OKC. They controlled possession, and we had only one yellow card in the first half. Shows you how nip and tuck it was in the second half. 5 more were to follow, but in the end, a great game, and I think, like you said, Jose, a fair result.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it's something that we would like to see both teams build on. For RGV, they play San Antonio next over the weekend, and for OKC, they'll be facing New Mexico, one of the toughest teams throughout the 2019 season. A lot of changes for New Mexico, but, you know, still a quality side.
Well, that was a lot of fun. Deshane Beckford opened the scoring for RGV, the underdogs on the road. They looked like they were on their way to 3 points. It was back and forth throughout, but in the 88th minute, Frank Lopez saved the day for OKC to grab a point for the Energy. A fun one for Jose Rodriguez and our entire crew. I'm Sean St. Jacques saying so long from Taft Stadium. It finishes level between OKC and RGV.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.